There are few items as valuable as a large gem. However, although many are virtually priceless, many of them also have unbelievable backstories. So today, we're going to be running down some of the most valuable gems that no one can buy. The first gem we are going to be looking into is the supposedly cursed Hope Diamond. Originally a 115.6 carat blue diamond, the gem was first mined in India, where it reportedly was used as the eye of a statue in a Hindu temple. However, it was stolen from its homeland by French merchant Jean-Baptiste Tavernier in 1666. Upon finding this out, the priests in the temple supposedly put a curse on the owner of the diamond. The first person to live out this curse was Tavernier himself. Although reports are conflicting, some accounts claim that he came down with a raging fever soon after stealing the diamond, and then, after dying from the fever, his body was ravaged by wolves. This curse then supposedly passed on to King Louis XIV of France, the man whom Tavernier sold the diamond to. With this diamond being renamed the Blue Diamond of the Crown once the king acquired it in 1673, he soon after had the misfortune of succumbing to gangrene. What's more, the curse also affected his extended family, as all of his legitimate children save one ended up passing away during childhood. Yet the curse wasn't finished just yet. The next owner, Nicolas Fouquet, was soon imprisoned for life after obtaining the diamond, and the next two owners after him were King Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette. And we all know what happened to them. But if you don't, it's nothing to lose your head over. The gem then changed hands while Marie Antoinette was in prison, being given to another member of French royalty, Princess Marie-Louise. Yet she fared even worse than Marie Antoinette and, well, the details are far too brutal for our audience. Unfortunately, even once the jewel changed hands and left French territory, the curse ended up going with it. The first foreigner to receive it was Dutch jeweler Wilhelm Fals, who supposedly recut the diamond to disguise its identity. Yet he didn't have the jewel for long, as he fell victim to his son who stole the diamond. The younger Fals then perished by his own hands in 1830. The next owner, Simon Montherides of Greece, perished tragically when he accidentally drove himself and his wife and child off a cliff in their horse-drawn carriage on his way to make a deal to sell the diamond. After some time, Evelyn Walsh McLean, born August 1, 1886, and the heiress to the Washington Post, bought the diamond. However, even though she lived across the ocean in the United States, the curse still ran strong. This can be seen by the fact that her 9-year-old son and 25-year-old daughter both perished in tragic circumstances, and her husband left her for another woman and left her massively in debt by her life's end. As a result of all this turmoil, the final private owner, Harry Winston, effectively gave away the diamond for free after just 9 years of ownership, and it is now on display at the Smithsonian. Yet even after this sale, it continued to harass its handlers. This can be seen through James Todd, the mailman who delivered the diamond to the Smithsonian. This is because after he performed the simple task of delivering the diamond, he went on to receive a major leg injury in an accident, a head injury in another, and, to top it off, he had his house burned down in a fire. If that doesn't make this jewel a demonic diamond, we don't know what does. It's now valued at $350 million, but we're pretty sure if it was only $1, no one would dare buy it. Would you? The next valuable stone, while not cursed, has an equally interesting past. Known as the Star of India, it is a near-flawless sapphire with the rare star pattern. Measuring in at around 536 carats, it is likely the largest sapphire to have ever been cut. Although we know that it was found in modern-day Sri Lanka, it is unclear as to exactly how gem expert George Coons got his hands on it in the late 1890s. Regardless, soon after Coons acquired it, it was passed off to American billionaire J.P. Morgan in 1900 for the Paris Exposition. And in 1901, J.P. Morgan donated it to the American Museum of Natural History. But what makes this gem infamous is that it was stolen from the museum on October 29, 1964. The thieves entered the museum through a bathroom window and were not only able to sneak into the exhibit, but they didn't set off the Star of India's alarm because the alarm system was out of batteries. It only took 2 days for the thieves to be apprehended, but even once they were caught, the gem was still nowhere to be found. And although investigators searched for it for months, its location was only revealed once the thief Alan Kuhn admitted that he had hidden it in a bus station lockbox in Miami. Today, the jewel still resides at the American Museum of Natural History, albeit with a better alarm system protecting it. However, the gem that you could probably boast to have the best of both worlds is the Koh-i-Noor diamond, as it is not just cursed, but also infamous for never staying in one place for long. Originally around 186 carats, the diamond was likely mined from the Kollur mines in southern India. Although some reports claim that it is a staggering 5,000 years old, the first written reports of the diamond came from India's Kakatiya dynasty sometime in the 13th century. Originally serving as the eye of the goddess Devi in a Hindu temple, it was stolen by Mughal Emperor Babur around the year 1500. From there, it passed hands constantly through a series of bloody battles, causing many to say it cursed male owners of the gem with war and instability. However, this violent changing of hands finally ceased when it was given to Queen Victoria after the Second Anglo-Sikh War in April of 1849. As of now, it is displayed in the Tower of London, and the British monarchy has been careful to only allow female nobility to touch it, as the curse reportedly does not apply to them. Based on the gem's track record, we just hope they're right. Now, the so-called Black Prince's ruby is distinguished in its own right because it is neither black nor a ruby. The stone is an uncut 170-carat piece of red spinel and looks very similar to a ruby but is exceptionally rarer. Now, the jewel is thought to have been mined in modern-day Tajikistan, but its first recorded owner was Prince Abu Said of the Moorish Kingdom of Granada. Owning the jewel throughout the early to mid-14th century, Prince Said lost it during this time frame after an encounter with Don Pedro the Cruel, who was the ruler of Castile. Don Pedro obtained the diamond after tricking the prince to meet with him for peace negotiations during a war, and once Prince Said arrived, Pedro took him out and then took the jewel. This supposedly led to the gem cursing Don Pedro, as soon after conquering Granada, his half-brother Henry of Trastamara declared war against him. However, Don Pedro eventually won the civil war with the help of Prince Edward III, better known as the Black Prince of England. However, in return, Prince Edward III demanded the jewel from Don Pedro, and Don Pedro unwillingly obliged. Today, the Black Prince's ruby has remained with the royal family and is currently one of the British monarchy crown jewels. A gem that has a much more destructive curse is the Black Orla, which is also known as the Eye of Brahma, which is a 67.5-carat black diamond that came from a much larger uncut 195-carat diamond. Its roots can be traced back to the 19th century India, and like many other cursed diamonds in this video, it once was housed in a Hindu temple and is one of the eyes in a statue of the god Brahma. However, it was reportedly stolen by a traveling Jesuit and by 1932 had made its way to the United States. It was in the States that the gem was acquired by diamond dealer J.W. Paris. Being the first of the diamond's victims and soon after acquiring it, he decided to jump from a New York skyscraper. After a mysterious interlude, it was then acquired by Princess Leonila Viktorovna Baryantinsky of Russia, who reportedly also jumped from a tall building. Then it passed off to Princess Nadia Vizhin Orlov, who, in December of 1947, also jumped off a tall building. At this point, it was clear that the gem had some sort of nasty curse, and its next owner, Charles F. Wilson, had it cut in 3 to destroy the curse. Although this attempt may seem a little pathetic on the surface, it supposedly worked, and it is now attached to a necklace that has passed between multiple different owners without harming any of them. Yet there exists a diamond commonly known as the Incomparable that has a much brighter history. Believe it or not, it was first found by a Congolese girl playing in a pile of mineshaft rubble outside her uncle's house in the 1980s. The rubble had reportedly not been worth scanning for diamonds due to its bulkiness, and so this find was truly improbable. Changing hands several times, it eventually came into the hands of Louis Glick, a prominent diamond expert. When it was finally weighed, it came in at an astounding 890 carats, and there was speculation that it would be cut so that it would be larger than the current largest cut diamond in the world, the Cullinan I. However, it was ultimately shaved down to a beautiful 407.48 carat piece, making it the third largest in the world. Now, the next diamond we will be mentioning may not be a record breaker, but it certainly had some serious international implications. The gem, which was known as the Blue Diamond, was by all accounts a valuable piece. Initially owned by Prince Faisal bin Fahd of Saudi Arabia, it was reportedly stolen along with several other jewels by Thai servant Krion Krai Tekamung in 1989 and shipped back to Tekamung's hometown. Unsurprisingly, the prince was furious and demanded that the Thai government track down and return the stolen jewelry. And while the Thai government did eventually sentence Tekamung and send back some of the gems, the prince found that not only were half of the returned stones fakes, but that his coveted blue diamond was missing. Sparking what became known as the Blue Diamond Affair, this caused the Saudis to send diplomats to Thailand to try to investigate for themselves. However, this resulted in 5 of the diplomats being assassinated while in Thailand. As a consequence, relations between the two countries quickly soured, and the number of Thai laborers allowed to work in Saudi Arabia dropped from around 200,000 in 1989 to just 10,000 by 2008. Yet, despite all the publicity, the Blue Diamond's location remains a mystery to this day. If you find it, let us know. But the aforementioned cursed gems do not stand alone, as the Sansi diamond is undoubtedly cursed as well. Hailing from India, it is a pale yellow diamond that comes in at 55.23 carats. Although its origins are not entirely known, what is clear is that it reached Europe by the 14th century, and it was by many accounts a feature in the crowns of several British and French monarchs. However, what many of these monarchs, which include Burgundy's Charles the Bold, England's Charles I, and France's Louis XVI had in common was they experienced gruesome ends soon after coming into contact with the diamond. What's more, after King Louis XVI's passing, the Sansi was stolen by revolutionaries and not recovered until Prince Pavel Demidov of Russia purchased the gem in 1828. Luckily for Demidov, he was the last owner of the gem to escape a brutal demise. And the gem changed hands several times before ending up in the hands of the Louvre, where it is displayed to this day. Our next gem, the Delhi Purple Sapphire, has a misleading name. After all, the gem is not even a sapphire, but rather a much less valuable amethyst that was stolen from an Indian temple in 1855. Yet, despite this misnomer, it still is incredibly cursed. Its first European owner, Colonel W. Ferris, had his family experience a near-complete financial collapse upon him bringing the jewel home to England. This shouldn't come as a surprise, as it was stolen from an Indian Hindu temple. Eventually, he decided to loan it out to a family friend who almost immediately took his own life upon receiving it. Distraught, he held on to the diamond until his son's friend, Edward Heron Allen, who was a respected scholar at the time, took possession of it. It once again began to cause misfortune, and in a bid to neutralize it, Heron Allen had it bound with a silver ring fashioned as a double-headed snake, and then attached 2 amethyst scarab beetles to the ring and inscribed it with symbols of the zodiac. Although it worked for a time, it eventually began to act up again, even reportedly causing the spirit of a Hindu yogi to appear to Heron Allen multiple times, each time apparently looking for the gem. After continued turmoil, Heron Allen eventually had it locked up in a bank, and eventually it was transferred over to the British Natural History Museum. Rediscovered in 1972 in one of the museum's gemstone cabinets, it remains on display at the museum to this day. However, out of all of the gems in this video, it is the Regent Diamond that is easily the most fascinating. Its story begins in 1698, when a slave found the 410-carat rough diamond in the Kollur mine of southern India. From there, he attempted to hide it in a bandage and sailed to the city of Madras to sell it in 1701. However, The gem was discovered by the ship's captain, and he promptly stole the diamond and threw the slave overboard. From there, the captain sold it to a merchant, who then, under pressure, sold it to Thomas Pitt, the local governor. After being cut, it was sold to the French Duke of Orleans, and, except for a brief stint during the Revolution, remained in the French government's hands until 1887, when it was permanently put on display in the Louvre. Nowadays, it is widely regarded by many gem experts to be one of the most beautiful, most pure, and most valuable diamonds in the world. That's all we have for now, folks. But before we go, we want to know, would you dare own one of these? If you liked the video, then make sure to subscribe, and
if you like our video, then please like, comment and subscribe. And thanks for watching.